Welcome back to our course on metrics. In this video, we'll be exploring our AWS Lambda capabilities in Coralogix. So I'm within the APM, the Application Performance Monitoring UI in Coralogix. I've selected a Lambda function. In this case, it's a Python function. And this is our overview screen. So we can see at a glance, SLOs, incidents, we have our metrics, our key characteristics that we've talked about throughout this course, latency, requests per minute, errors, we got AppDex score in there, which we'll look at shortly, average latencies, fantastic. But these numbers here are suggesting that we might have some system performances. I mean, our average latency is 1.28 seconds. We have an error percentage of 38%. It's not looking good. So anyways, before we go any further, in the interest of metrics, I want to show you what the Coralogix extension actually offers. So the extension is a one-click deployment of your AWS function. It comes with these alerts here. So we have, 5 built-in alerts. Let's just have a look at some of these because I think it's a good example of good practice. So if I zoom in and go down to the metric itself, zoom that in once more. This is a great example of, as I said, best practices for queries in terms of our label names, clear label names, clear metric names. We're also using the sort by function here with the function name and cloud region. So that is typically what you'd want it to sort by here, because function name, what is the function, what's the region it's coming from, of course. And this query here is taking the sum of the errors and dividing them, there's our divide function there, by the amount of invocations. And this alert will trigger if the value is more than 5% of a period of 10 minutes. So that's just a good example there of best practices for queries. Okay, let's come back to our APM overview screen for our Lambda function. Let's look at SLOs now. This means service level objectives. So we can add an SLO here. We can look at the average latency. We can see we've got a range of quite a big range here actually, but I think it might be dropping out. But we see roughly we've got a range between 455 and 500. So we could set our threshold to be, say, 501. So we could set our target to be 501, and we can set that to be milliseconds, and we can set that to be 99.5%. Anytime over a 30-day period, we go over that threshold, it will trigger, and that was what will show that breach up on our dashboard. So very configurable. Let's go into the AppDex scores. So AppDex scores is another crucial metric. It measures user satisfaction with response times. So let's configure it. So we can see here, I've created a predefined threshold of 0.5. Well, I say I created, it came predefined by the Coralogix extension, as we've seen earlier. And we can see with the amount of errors that our application, our function, has been shown, we can see instantly from this graph that our average latency is breaching that threshold. But yes, another great feature, and again, you can see them visualizations there. We can also set alerts on that as well. But yes, lastly, I want to talk about the service map. So this again is pre-built in, so we can see a visualization of our service from top to bottom. We can see the function and the latency then, where that's going off to, say, maybe our database, our S3 bucket is even there as well. So yes, great visualization tool, and we can track the latency and see quickly error requests to each different branch of our service. Okay, some best practices to finish. Monitor your error rates closely, latency spikes, track them cold starts, set up comprehensive alerts on top of the pre-built alerts that come with Coralogix. You can use all those tips within this course to predefine those metrics. Regular review and adjust those service level objectives, SLOs. AppDex scores are very good for gauging user satisfaction. And yes, just bring all those tools together. You've got a lot of functionality here to ensure that your serverless applications are performing optimally. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we'll explore another Coralogix feature, events to metrics.